Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Riders Club Radio. I'm Jeff.
And I'm Liam.
And this is a podcast where we talk about Kamen Rider, Super Sentai, Garo sometimes, but never Ultraman.
Never, ever, ever.
Never, ever Ultraman.
Other than that one time.
This week we watched Kamen Rider Ghost episode 48 and Animal Sentai Zyuohger episode 29. Also the 2000th episode of Super Sentai.
Yeah, it's a celebration.
Everybody's happy-go-lucky excited.
Woo!
But first, let's talk about Ghost.
Okay, well...
Liam, what happened in this episode?
Sorry, let me mentally prepare myself.
You've been slouching lately with your descriptions. You better fucking be descriptive.
I'm gonna be on point. I'm gonna be on point today.
Are you?
I'm gonna be so good with this description.
Okay, let's hear it.
Okay. This week's episode was not exactly on the ball. So, Jeff, what did you think of Kamen Rider Ghost episode 48?
You know what, Liam? I thought that there was like a certain level of laziness that was like the bottom. But then I met you.
Okay, so they all go to the fucking Gamma World. They follow after the ninja old man who becomes Dark Ghost for no reason. They go to the Gamma World, and they go to the Gamma World, and there's a big fight, and they stop pretending that the Gamma World isn't just the real world with a red filter over it. They have a big fight. Igor dies, and he professes his love to Akari. And he dies.
Yeah, was that not the weirdest shit?
Look, we'll get to this. I have a lot to say about this episode.
Yeah.
So he professes his love to Akari and he dies. Alan gets his ass kicked by Adele. He's gonna self-destruct, but he can't bring himself to do it because he's a coward. So
Alan is trying to murder Adele, and then when Ghost tries to murder Adele, he's like, "No, stop! I love him.
I'm in love with him." He gets sidekicked in the face by Adele, and Ghost instead kicks Adele, and they kick each other, and there's a big fight. And they kick.
Adele kicks once.
They kick
in his entire
and they punch
existence.
and they bite and they grab and they tug, and there's a big fight.
Bite.
Yeah, it's the fucking Takeru and Adele show, and he hugs him, and they see that he's loved, and he's like, "Oh, I'm so loved." But that's later, because first Makoto gets hurt. This is the big conclusion of the Clone Saga. Makoto gets hurt, and the clone fuses into him and heals all of his wounds.
Why is there never a good clone?
Because
why are all the Clone Sagas so bad?
It's the Clone Saga is what you do when you run out. That's when you've run out of ideas, you do a Clone Saga. So
Spider-Man had a bad Clone Saga. Star Wars had a bad one.
Oh fuck! Oh man, Star Wars had the funniest clone thing ever. For those of you, we're not talking about the prequels. I'm talking about Luke.
Yeah, that's a spoiler for some dumb shit.
Spoiler for some awful, terrible novels.
In Star Wars Episode 9, coming soon.
It's spoiling the Star Wars expanded universe is like spoiling Mein Kampf. Is it really important? Does it really matter?
Not quite equal, I think. You can spoil the extended universe now because none of it exists anymore.
Yeah, it's all been
They're
wiped.
Just taking bits and pieces from writers, changing the names just enough so they don't have to pay the writer royalties, and doing the same exact stories in the movies.
Perfect. It's the Disney way.
Yep.
So, the fucking Takeru hugs Adele, and he sees into his past.
Wait, no.
What?
Makoto dies.
Yeah, Makoto, I already said. Makoto dies and he fuses with the clone. That's the end of the fucking storyline.
The clone gives up his life for him, and everybody's like, wow, what a great guy. Except nobody even says that, really.
It just ends. It's just over. So they go and he hugs him, and Adele sees through the touching of the other people that he was really loved this whole time. Everyone loved him, and they were going to forgive him, but then the Ganmisers take him over. They fuse and they eat his brain.
So Takeru just murders him.
So Takeru just kills him. I mean, there's no other way. He just kills him. And he's like, well, thanks, Takeru, you done it. But then the Ganmisers fuse with the Great Eye, and they become Kamen Rider Extremer.
And also, the chick from the Kamen Rider special is there, I guess.
Which chick?
The one. She was two
Oh, the one who
chicks.
fused.
Yeah, and she fused, and she's in the Great Eye.
Yeah, fucking who cares?
Are you confused, Japanese children? Because I am.
So, Jeff, what did you think of Kamen Rider Ghost episode 48?
It's almost over. What did you think?
Well, I thought a lot of things. And I didn't think a lot of other things about this episode. I had complex thoughts during this episode.
I had no complex thoughts. I watched it with a completely stone face until Kanon punched monsters and made them explode. And in which I yelled, "What?" And then when fucking Igor professed his love for Akari, I yelled, "What?" And
you may have a few questions about this episode, chiefly among them, huh?
Excuse me?
I'm
With
sorry?
a question mark at the end?
Yeah. I feel like
this episode was a bad episode, Liam.
Sure, it was a bad episode, but I feel like as we're getting closer to the end, we're getting more like the writers planned this part out, and you can see the road of where it could have gone if the show was good. But instead, it feels like all this stuff that's sort of thrown at us at the end. The whole subplot with Adele was especially upsetting this week, because they're trying to set up this thing. They tell you, they have the characters turn to the audience and tell you that it's such a tragic story of corrupted innocence. Oh, here's Adele, this pure child who just wanted the love of his family, and it turned him to evil. But like,
So he murdered his own father.
Throughout the course of the story, we never see him as this innocent child looking for love. He's a prick. He's a fucking dick right from the start.
He also murdered Takeru's father. Why did he do that?
He killed so many dads for fun. And Adele's like,
Yeah, fucking Takeru's like, oh, well, you didn't feel loved, so when you saw that my dad loved me, you were sad about it. That's so sad for you. And motherfucker, he murdered your father.
It's Takeru telling us how it went when we fucking saw it go another way. They're trying to backtrack.
Well, we saw Leonardo da Vinci fucking murder him.
We've seen a lot of shit in the last year. It's been a roller coaster ride.
You know, Adele's whole fucking thing, right?
Mm.
The whole, like, redemption arc that they were trying to set up, like, he's gonna find out that he was loved after all, and, like, Takeru's not gonna kill him, he's gonna take the high road and find a way to reform him.
Mm.
Because Takeru is such a great guy. And, they fucking cop out and have him kill him at the end anyway.
I think it would have been way better if like, Adele could have been a much, much better villain if they had actually started him off as, like, maybe he's the one member of that family who's not evil, and then he becomes
you
gradually...
gave us your fan fiction about that before.
Yeah, he becomes gradually the worst of them all over the course of the show. Yeah, that would make him a very interesting villain, but...
You know what would have made him an interesting villain? If we saw him trying to gain his father's approval for a while before he fucking killed him.
Just do any of the stuff they tried to tell us about this episode, maybe. You could have had a good show.
But what? Like, I would have had at least a modicum of respect for the show if they would have went through with their fucking hippy-dippy, I'm gonna hug the evil out of him bullshit. If they would have stayed the course with that shit, right?
Mm.
But he hugs the hate out of him and then just fucking kills him anyway because we gotta have a fight scene.
We gotta have a big climactic penultimate fight scene.
Why couldn't the fucking, like, Ganmeisers, like, he lets them go or whatever, and then the Ganmeisers fuse into one ugly-ass fucking Ganmeiser and fights Takeru and they lose, and then they fuse with the Great Eye. You get your dumbass fight scene, and you don't waste the entire build-up of what you're gonna do with every character in the show. What little build-up there was.
How about, fucking don't have the Ganmeisers? Just right from the start, just erase them from the story. That'd be nice. That'd be a good way to improve the script. I guess we can talk about it now. I found out about this last week, a couple weeks ago, through scans, but now it's in the show. It's not a spoiler anymore. I hate the Ganmeisers with a flaming passion, and they're the final fight. They're the final fight in the series.
Yeah.
So,
you know, it's like a strange robotic thing was introduced near the end of the series, and it became the final villain instead of the villain that had been set up to be the villain for most of the series. Does that remind you of anything?
Hey, Drive's final fight was against Heart. Okay? Yeah. Don't forget that in this shitstorm.
I love Drive. Drive has its fucking problems, but it's not Ghost. It looks like a fucking work by the real Da Vinci compared to Ghost.
I miss the shit out of Drive, and I never thought I'd say myself saying that, because I didn't love Drive. I liked it, I didn't love it, but I really...
Liam actually started out hating Drive.
I hated Drive at the beginning, but like at the end I was like, this is a pretty good show. But like, I miss it. I miss the fuck out of it right now. I want to watch it.
I miss characters I give a shit about. Like, there's a moment at the beginning of the episode where Takeru's like, I'm gonna go into the ghost world now, bye, and Onari and Akari are like, we're gonna go with you, And I was like, fuck, why? And then they're like, oh, we need to hold you back. And it took me a full, like, 15 seconds to remember what the fuck they were talking about. I just saw the episode, like, 5 days ago or something.
They're there, Jeff, to perform the all-important task of making sure Ghost does not kill Adele. And they succeeded wonderfully.
Yeah, they certainly passed that test with flying colors.
My favorite is Everyone Wants to Go.
If the flying colors are blood red.
My favorite... don't forget Sorrow Blue. It was a sorrow break that killed him. My favorite part is Everyone Wants to Go to the Gamma World. And Shibuya and Narita are like, yeah, let's all go, yeah. And they're like, no, you guys gotta stay.
Onari's, like, kind of, like, awkward about it, too. Like, we don't want them to go at all, but we have to let them down gently, right? We have to give them something to do so they feel like they're part of the group.
Tell them that they have to hold the fort here, and it's all important, and I don't know, just fucking make something up, Onari. And they're like,
I like how,
okay, I guess.
I like how 2 episodes ago, the evil Makoto was evil, and then last episode he was good suddenly, and then he sacrificed his life for the other one.
It's because he experienced the friends. I don't know. Okay, let's look at this clone subplot. Okay, the whole time we've been asking, where are they going with this? Where are they going with this?
Nowhere.
What is this? Nowhere. Makoto gets hurt and then he gets healed, and that's the ultimate ending of the clone subplot. I really thought for a second the best fucking scene. I was busting out laughing at this. Was Makoto was gonna die, and he's like, "Clone Makoto, you gotta fucking take over for me." And I was like, "Yes, please. That would be so fucked up. Do that." And then they don't do it. They don't. You don't. Nothing. You could just have him not get hurt, and the whole plot would be meaningless.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be great though? If like you had to see like maybe there was an after scene at the end of the series or whatever that showed what everybody was up to, and like Kanon was teaching the clone Makoto how to be a normal person or whatever, and trying to acclimate him to his new life.
That would be 15 different flavors of fucked up. That's the most fucked up thing.
We don't get that. It reminds me of a Star Trek episode.
Oh, really? Is it the one with Tuvix?
Yeah. No, it sure isn't. It's the one where Miles O'Brien, Chief O'Brien, goes through fucking like time and space. He keeps getting like shunted through time and space until he eventually meets himself.
Oh God!
Like he's being shunted through like just a couple days or whatever, and he meets himself in the future. And he takes a fucking, like, blaster shot to the chest to save his future self. And then his future self, from 5 days in the future or whatever, goes back in time to prevent it from happening and takes his earlier self's place. So it's not the same O'Brien for the rest of the series. It's like a time-displaced O'Brien.
Jesus. That's double fucked up.
A lot of fucked up shit happens in Star Trek. It explores some goddamn great science fiction. Ghost does not. The clone in Ghost just fuses with the good one and becomes the good one, and they're bestest friends forever.
I laughed a couple times pretty hard at this episode. Igor's death was the funniest thing on TV.
Yeah, what the fuck?
I laughed a lot at Seinfeld, but never as hard as I have at this. So Igor has got mind control. The Kari smacks him twice and it snaps him out, and he fucking jumps in front of her and sacrifices himself.
Yeah, fucking Onari says this dumb shit. He's like, concern is the truest form of love, or whatever. And Igor's like, what? And you as an audience member, you're like, what? And then Igor jumps in front of her and blocks a regular fucking, like, Ganma Mook.
Keep in mind, this guy fought Ghost, like, a bunch of times.
Dies.
Yeah.
He dies in one hit, and he says, love, how, like, preposterous or whatever, and then dies in her arms.
Isn't he, like, twice her age?
Everyone is a million times older than the Ghost characters.
Dude probably was born in, like, 1683.
That was the dumbest, weirdest, most out-of-left-field shit. I thought he was just like... I thought like the whole thing with Akari slapping him was that he was just horribly embarrassed that he was slapped by a little girl.
Yeah. I don't know... This is another one of those things where like it's like trying to fight a brick wall where it's like, what angle do I even come at when I'm talking about this? Like, what do I say? How do I critique this? It's the same thing with the ninja old man from the last episode where it's just like, it just happens and you're like, what? Like... I can't...
Igor was set up to be like a fucking legitimate threat for most of the series. He was the only villain.
They attempted. Yeah.
And he goes out like a bitch.
He goes out like a...
I don't even like him. Like, I didn't care how he went out, but he went out in such a nonsensical manner.
It was confusing. It was
That's all I could think about. Even after the episode was over and, like, Adele's fucking dead, like, Ghost murdered Alan's brother and Alan thanks him for it. All of that shit. All I could think about was Igor fucking loved Akari and sacrificed himself. Really.
This would be like in the last 30 seconds of episode 50. Like, Narita proposes to Kanon and she accepts, and you're like, whoa, hang on, whoa, motherfucker, what? Those two
excuse me?
never spoke to each other.
It would be like that if the characters mattered whatsoever.
Yeah, that's true.
It would be like that.
if those two characters were worth having names, yeah.
Has Kanon said anything except, like, Oni-chan for the last, like, 20 episodes?
I don't know. Kanon doesn't matter in this show. Which is a shame. Her talent is wasted. Like most of the actors.
canon of this show doesn't matter either.
That's true. Let's talk about Kanon. You want to talk about Kanon? Not the girl.
Sure.
So
Canon.
Canon. The kind that you shoot, but missing an N. He comes through the portal. Ghost comes through the portal and he sees the old man as Dark Ghost. And he says, "It's you, it's Argos." And then he says, no, it's me. But, okay, so you're trying to confuse kids. I get it. It's the ultimate goal of Kamen Rider is to confuse children until they wander into a Toys R Us. But
confused me.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, like, Kamen Rider, it should be a rule. It should be like an unwritten rule in Kamen Rider that you don't reference the movies unless you're doing a special movie episode. Like the
You can reference the movies, but you have to have a little bit of explanation behind it. Like, think about when the thief character in Kamen Rider Drive mentions Lupin. He says, "Aren't you the guy that cracked that thievery case?" "Yeah, with the great thief Lupin."
I'm going to say no. I'm going to say I don't like that.
I thought that was a clever little nod. It's something that you don't need to understand what's happening in the episode. It's just a case that Shinosuke has been on before.
I guess, but, like, it kind of raises questions when you're watching the show of, like, what the fuck is that? What are they talking? Like, imagine coming at it as you're just a kid watching the show, and they're like, "Oh, remember this movie?" And you're like, "Well, fuck, I haven't seen that. What the fuck are they talking about?" They don't
phrase it like that. It's not like fucking Argos, where a guy transforms into a fucking dark ghost.
That's true.
And you're like, where did that come from?
That's true.
What?
A little nod isn't that harmful, but I'd rather they just didn't do it at all.
It's when you throw shit into the series that, like, it matters to the series now, that it's only from the movie.
I think they just needed a suit for the old man, and I don't know why they didn't just use a dancing Necrom suit. That would have made sense.
Why did he need a suit? Why did he need to fight?
Because you're asking the unanswerable question here, Jeff.
This episode was terrible.
At least I could, like, laugh a little at this episode because, like, so much like most Ghosts is just nothing. It's just nothing. This is just an episode of, like, pure nonsense. Yeah, just total nonsense. So at least it was, like, good for a chuckle. You could watch this episode drunk and have fun. Can't say the same for the rest of Ghost.
Yeah, I was sober and I had zero fun. But I mean, I think that's the most insulting part. Like, we've talked for a million episodes now about how shitty Ghost is or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I still kind of had, like, an expectation that, because they've been setting it up for 5 billion episodes, that the way to defeat your enemy is to, like, show love or whatever, like, that's beam attack.
That's not even the worst message you can give to a kid. Is like, if someone's fucking with you, try and solve things non-violently. Try and meet hate with love. It's not a bad message, but
Takeru, like, fucking, like, he hugs him and he's like, "Oh, you're cured now of your evil. We're best friends." And Adele's like, "Yeah, we're best friends," but then he just fucking kills him anyway.
Oh fuck! I gotta kill him. Sorry, dude. Sorry, you're leaving.
You got, like, possessed by Ganmisers. That's never happened to any human beings before that I definitely didn't save without killing them.
Yeah, you're fucking... That's Takeru. He was like... Everyone's like, "Oh, well, Takeru can clearly force the Ganmiser out." And Takeru's like, "I can't do it, guys. I can't do it this time. Gotta kill him. Sorry."
Yeah, this has nothing to do with the fact that he killed my dad, by the way. I'm just gonna go ahead
Takeru
and...
can't... Nope, can't do it. Nope. Oh, look, he's dead. Oh, what a tragedy.
It's fucking... He has gotten Ganmisers out of people before.
He's gotten lots of different things out of people, yeah.
But specifically, he's gotten Ganmeisers out of him. 3 people at once.
Oh,
even.
yeah. Yeah. That's
this
true.
shit happens. But not Adele, who he spent the past, 5 episodes, 6 episodes agonizing over the fact that he has to fight him. And he can't, get through to him or whatever. And the fucking cherry on top of the shit sundae, the spoiled cherry, is that Alan looks over to him with sadness in his eyes and says, "Arigato, Takeru. Thank you for murdering my fucking brother, who I asked you specifically not to murder several times."
No, but he had a suit on him. He was mind controlled. We had to kill him. I gotta say, most Kamen Riders, all Kamen Rider shows, most of them are like, oh, they're being mind controlled. Don't hurt these people. They're being mind controlled. I applaud Takeru's balls. So he's being mind controlled. There's no other way. Gotta kill him. What a tragedy. Dead.
That's a shame.
Real shame it had to turn out that way.
It's a little suspect. I will say that. It's a little suspect that the only person he didn't save from the Ganmeisers is the same person who murdered his father.
I'm gonna pull out my crystal ball here. Pull it out from under my robe. And I'm gonna make a prediction. I'm gonna say
Liam's a wizard, for folks who don't know.
I am a wizard. I am a wizardo. I eat a lot of donuts.
Just say your fucking stupid thing.
Okay, I'm sorry. So I'm gonna say in the last episode, Adele is gonna either come back, or you're gonna see his ghost approving and making it up with everyone.
Are they gonna fucking Photoshop Hayden Christensen over top of him?
when all the little furry creatures are doing a concert, Adele's gonna come back and smile approvingly. I
if
think
that actually happens at the end of the series, I will be so happy if one of you Photoshop Adele's ghost over Hayden Christensen, who is Photoshopped over the actor that played Darth Vader.
I think I wouldn't be surprised at all if they pulled some horse shit and resurrected Adele.
You know what the fuck is gonna happen, Liam?
What?
Ghost is gonna go to the fucking Great Eye. He's gonna connect to it, and he's gonna be like, "I wish that Adele was alive."
And the Great Eye is gonna be like, you know what, Takeru? You're so compassionate. I'll give you 2 wishes.
Yeah.
Fucker. Fucking asshole. Piece of shit.
That's gonna be in the script. That's what's gonna happen.
We'll see.
I have absolutely no doubts. Although I also had no doubts that he wasn't going to murder Adele.
Yeah, well.
And look where we're at.
To be fair, the people who were trying to stop him from murdering Adele were fucking Onari and Akari, so what were they gonna do?
Yeah.
What can anybody do?
Throughout the entire series, Onari and Akari are like, "We're gonna help you, Ghost. We're gonna go with you," and nobody's like, "No, you're not, you fucking idiot. You don't have any powers. What are you gonna do?"
Yeah, you can't transform. You can't. Apparently, they've been lifting. They've been lifting a lot since the start of the show because now they can punch Ganmas with their bare hands.
Yeah, Kanon can punch Ganmas with her bare hands and murder them.
Kanon's been eating her oats since the start of the series. She's been getting her Wheaties.
I can believe Akari has created a device that can kill Ganmas.
Sure,
I can believe that. I can believe that Onari can hold them back long enough to fight them. I can even believe that maybe he has a fucking blessed staff or something, and it hurts them. But I cannot believe that a 15-year-old girl can punch Ganmas and kill them. Not a 15-year-old girl like an anime protagonist or whatever, just like a regular fucking girl.
Don't underestimate the power of squats, man.
Like, if fucking Shibuya and Narita ran out there and started punching goddamn Ganmeisers, I'd call it just as well. That's dumb as fuck.
But then at least you have the 2 best characters in the show doing something.
They're the 2 best characters in the show because they're so fucking worthless and add nothing to the plot whatsoever, so they're, free of the taint.
They made it out just fine. I mean, Shibuya a little bit had a dumb episode. Narita makes it out completely clean. He is squeaky.
Narita still has no personality whatsoever.
He did nothing. We can say definitively he did nothing for the whole show.
I wonder if that was a thing. If people wrote in and said, "Is there going to be an episode where Shibuya and Narita can shine?"
Oh, fuck.
And the writers are like, "Fucking really? Alright, I guess we'll give one of them an episode, whatever."
Shibuya, or Narita at least, existed to be a paycheck for an actor. He was a charity case.
Maybe. I still think they're like John Toei's nephews.
It must be. They gotta know somebody.
You don't get a cushy role getting paid every week to sit around doing nothing in the background.
They didn't win any Superboys competitions or anything, I'm sure. Like all the
Those two fucking weird-looking bastards? No.
You know, I don't know if Drive did, but shouldn't Ashime won a Superboys competition, and this next guy also won a Superboys competition? Is that like a requirement? Is this a Japan thing?
Maybe.
You gotta be a Superboy?
I feel like that's happened before.
I'm sure. I wouldn't be surprised if Gakusano did, or the fucking wizard guy did.
I think Gakusano did. I don't know if Shinosuke did, because Shinosuke is like an adult.
He's like a real adult. He can
He's
drink.
like probably 20. Like 21, something like that.
Leagues older than most Kamen Rider actors, yeah.
Yeah. Or maybe he just it's because he doesn't have like a little girl's haircut.
Maybe.
That it looks looks older.
He combs his hair. He doesn't have like a bird's nest.
There was a period of time, like from, I don't know, maybe like Agito to I don't know, like Kabuto. Where every main rider had the same exact fucking haircut.
Oh, Deno's got it too. I can confirm that. And the thing is, in the olden days of Rider, actors wouldn't get haircuts from the start of the series to the end. If you look at Kagami at the beginning of Kabuto, he's got like his hair's like a little longer than normal. Just a little. And then look at the end, episode 50, and it's just like he looks like a hairband. Like they just let it go.
That's true.
That's the early Heisei days.
That's true. And then Shinken Red didn't get a haircut throughout the whole series because he couldn't fucking afford it.
He dumped water onto his head, like, fucking do something, maybe.
You're all I have! This episode of Ghost was so nonsensical that I can't believe it's like one of the penultimate episodes of the series.
Yes. It was the perfect finish. Just a bunch of shit.
We have like 2 more episodes of this, don't we? Like, are they going to drag out the fight with Kamen Rider Extremer 2.0?
I'm going to guess
fucking 2 episodes.
I think the next episode is going to be the last episode, and then the one after that is going to be like the after episode.
Oh yeah, the one that like every fucking series does now.
Yeah, you got to have it. It's a requirement.
I hate the after episode, but I'm glad it's happening. At least the main plot of Ghost will be over, and I can fucking move on.
Thank God.
Wouldn't it suck if the after episode, like, all the actors were really charming and funny and had a lot of personality?
That would be so sad.
And you watch this whole shit heap of a fucking series, and you could see, without a doubt, that it could have been 1,000,000 times better.
It's sad. If it just had a better writer, maybe a better producer, director.
Maybe better actors.
Maybe better everything. What could have been.
It could have been a good show.
Oh, well. Is that all we have to say about Ghost?
That is all I have to say about Ghost forever.
Okay. Well, not quite yet.
Podcast is over.
Not quite yet, buddy.
The podcast will be discontinued after Ghost, by the way.
Yeah, you can't possibly top Ghost. The show's too good. We can't do anything after that.
So we're done doing Rider Club Radio after Ghost ends.
Yeah, that's
the first bit of our news.
It's a sad shame. X8 looks like it's... I mean, we all know that X8 looks like trash. It can't possibly be good, so...
I can't wait for X8.
God, I can't wait for fucking X8. Oh, it's gonna be such a relief.
Let's hear some news, Liam.
Okay, I got X8 news.
Oh boy,
Genom is going to be appearing next week in Ghost.
What?
Yeah. Not X8, Genom. X8's gonna be in the last one, I bet.
What? But what?
There is a screenshot of him. It's I don't remember what it. I think it's him riding onto the scene in a sick pink and highlighter green BMX bike, popping a sick wheelie. I hope like the series. I hope it's like a super serious scene, like they stand over the body of the Ganma, the Great Iser, what the fuck ever. All the characters are like, it's over, it's finally over, and then like a sick guitar riff plays, and he's like, fuck you. He kicks Ghost in the head from the side of his bike, and he just ruins everything.
I want the final fight to take place in like a skate park. Like, and nobody ever draws any attention to it or anything, and they just fight around on the ground, and after it's over, they're like, oh no. And then fucking Genom just comes down the half pipe, starts doing fucking flips and shit on his bike.
It's like a handlebar spin, 360 nothing.
Suddenly it's a fucking fisheye lens. followed it.
Playing some 90s hip-hop. Oh, shit.
They just start playing the fucking Dave Mirra BMX soundtrack.
Oh, that that news to me is so refreshing, because it means Ghost is pretty much done. We're getting started with X8 a little bit early.
I can't believe Genom is going to be the first look at Ghosts.
Yes, it's going to be so good.
That we're getting. That would be like fucking... I don't even know. That's like... I can't even think of a fucking... It's like Dark Kabuto being the first look you get at Kabuto.
That would be also fucking incredible.
What the fuck?
So yeah, Genom is appearing. I can't fucking wait. I'm actually a little bit hyped for the next episode, because I want to see what he's going to do.
I'm a little bit, like, excited now just to see what the fuck is going to happen, that he'll be in it, and how it'll make any sense whatsoever.
It's going to be a joy. It's going to be a masterpiece. I already know.
You got any more news?
Yeah. Toei fucked up this week. They accidentally revealed a Kamen Rider 45th Anniversary TV theme song album. They, like, put it up for pre-order and then immediately removed it for pre-order. Like, some intern put it up too early or something, and then they got rid of right away. The pre-orders all got canceled. But it was a little album that they're going to release, I guess, this year, maybe after X8's out. And that just has the TV intros of every Rider series from 1971 original series to presumably X8. And they're all...
You can get that shit on YouTube.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's just... I assume it comes in a nice little jewel case with some cool art.
Yeah,
like
I'm sure it's pretty cool.
Collector's item.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's...
Actually, Ghost's fucking, like, soundtrack came out recently.
Ghost is a pretty nice soundtrack. I like it. I
haven't listened to the soundtrack, so I don't know any of the names of the tracks. That'll come up later, because we have an email about that.
If you listen to the soundtrack, though, it reminds you of Ghost. There's only a couple tracks that I would like. Like, I like the intro. I like the OP. And there's like a couple tracks that I like, but
yeah, don't get into that because it's a question.
Oh, okay. Okay. But yeah, they accidentally revealed the soundtrack and they fucked it up. So good job.
Toei fucked something up.
Toei made a mistake?
Shocking. They definitely didn't just fuck up an entire series or anything.
A mild blunder that lasted a year. So, the next Sentai got copyrighted.
Yes, it did.
Uchu Sentai Q Ranger. It looks like they're going to be space cops or space hospitals or something.
Space themed.
So it's going to be space, and Q is like the sound a siren makes in Japan. So it's going to be cops or ambulances or something. Some kind of maybe like a.
If they do cops, it would be kind of strange because they did a sci-fi like alien cop series already, Deca Ranger.
Yeah, it's like it would be like Sentai reusing like dinosaurs or something, which never happens.
Ninjas,
or
something.
God, cars.
Just throwing one out there.
Yeah, like it would be so dumb if they brought that shit back.
Man, they would never reuse shit over and over and over and over and over and over and over again.
No, never. Not a million times. When was the last Space Cop series? Was it Deca Ranger?
Yeah.
Or it could be, what was that QQ Sentai Go-Go 5?
I don't remember.
I think Go-Go 5 was also a rescue series about space rescues. So you could have something like that, or you could have a cops. Who knows? That seems to strongly be implied by the name. But
space is always fucking awesome.
You can't misinterpret Uchu. That's definitely space.
Maybe Gavon will show up again.
Probably not, but that'd be cool.
Oh.
I don't know, it might be cool. Space is awesome.
How sad is that, though, that, like, I'm so fucking starved for Space Sheriff Gavon to show up that I hear space in the title of something, and I'm like, oh, Gavon might show up!
What's that? Star Wars takes place in space? I know who lives in space.
Space Sheriff Gavon lives in space. It's right in his name.
Scheider? Maybe?
That'd actually be pretty cool, though, if they brought back, like, one of the actors to play, like, a space sheriff.
Like a bit part, like one episode.
Yeah.
I think
just a crossover thing.
I think it'd be neat in the next Star Wars movie if they have, like, a cantina scene to have a Gavon-looking dude in the background. I'd dig that.
That'd be sick.
Yeah, they could do that. They could get away with it.
If they wanted to not even like put like all the effort into making the costume and everything, since it's very detailed, made out of like hard plastic and everything, all they'd have to do is get one of those like terrible ass skin tight white and light blue costumes their actual uniforms.
Yeah, oh yeah. That would be hysterical.
Just get one of those and have them set in the background next to a woman who has a fishbowl on her head, and you'll know who the fuck it is.
Perfect. Let's tune in next week for Jeff and Liam's shit that'll never happen.
We did talk about Ghost becoming good for a long time.
That's true. Maybe
that might be what this podcast is actually about.
Hey, Jeff, we got 2 more episodes, okay? It can still save itself.
Yeah, it could come back.
It could haul it in.
It could do it. Don't be a naysayer. It could do it.
But yeah, QQ Uchu Sentai Q Ranger.
It stars Q from Kamen Rider Drive.
Of course. And Q.
Cloned 4 times.
Q, and Q.
Wouldn't that be awesome if he came back and he was just in that show as Q, with the same exact character?
I loved Q. I miss Q.
I did too. Liam saw a lot of himself in Q.
Why do you keep mentioning that every time I bring it up?
Because that was a beautiful moment of just opening up to the internet that never happens with you.
They learned a little bit about me that day. The true me.
We all did.
Oh.
So now that we're done with news...
Speaking of Sentai...
Why don't we talk about the 2000th episode of Super Sentai?
Woo!
The new episode of Zyuohger this week.
Woo! Sentai.
What happened? A little bit of what happened, Liam. Tell us.
Okay, so they get the fucking box, the great champion symbol, and they have a big fight. They team up with the Gokaigers. Everybody explains themselves, and they all team up, and they have a fight with Bungle and a bunch of past Super Sentai monsters, and then they keep the box. I think this episode was fucking fantastic.
This is a great episode. I will say I like the last episode better. There was a lot more character interaction.
Yeah, Marvelous and Yamato were better in the last episode.
This episode has like all the cool fucking fight scene shit you could ever want in Super Sentai. This is like a microcosm of every cool Super Sentai thing.
It's pure fan service. 22 minutes of pure fan service, if that's your thing.
Yeah, they even do a 2000th episode finisher attack.
They're in the robot, and their big finishing robot attack is, I think they say Super Sentai 40th anniversary attack or something like that. And then they're
using
the
like
beam.
Fucking meta knowledge.
They shoot the beam, and the beam has a little 2000 in it as it hits the robot.
It has 2000 in it, and also every Super Sentai logo.
Hang on a second.
As well.
I think these guys are using outside knowledge. It's like, okay, I get maybe the Gokaigers are like, yeah, there's fucking 39 teams before you. Okay, so we're the 40th. This is the 40th attack or whatever. But the 2000, how would they put that shit together?
Yeah, how did they know that?
I think there's a fucking discrepancy. Maybe this show's trash.
I'm on the message board, 1 a.m. the night that came out. Excuse me, Toei.
Something silly
How could they possibly know?
Something unrealistic happened in a Super Sentai show.
It's fucking... Especially, my favorite moment in the whole crossover, though, is when they jump in their giant robot and the camera pans back and the Gokaigers are all just sitting on them. And Marvelous looks over at him and goes, yo.
Yeah. I joked a while ago that you do everything in the robots just by spinning the cube. And the writers knew this. Marvelous leans over and goes, you just spin it, right? All you gotta do is spin it. He just grabs it and spins it.
Yamato's like, no, you don't just spin it. I love this episode.
They pull out past mechs and past mech attacks, and it's a delight. It's a little Sentai feast.
Yeah, it was beautiful, and it turns out that Juo Whale's power is to be Mega Man, which I'm always fucking on board with.
I love the Juo Whale suit. I
do too. I thought I wasn't going to. From the scans and stuff, it looked terrible.
Yeah, but in motion, seeing the little like robe flatter in the attack that takes out a chunk of the fucking moon.
Yeah,
spectacular.
Is that going to be like canon from now on in Super Sentai that there's just a piece of the moon missing?
I don't know. You'll have to see in the next night scene.
So never.
A huge whale-shaped crater.
I love that he shot it through the moon and around the moon, and from the other side of the world it came back.
Yeah, he went for the flashy detour.
And then all the Gokaigers are like, oh my god, and Gokai Pink is like, I think he might be more dangerous than we are.
He's got the currently airing toy line. He's stronger than all of us.
Jua Whale is cool as shit. I love it.
I liked, like I said, Yamato and Marvelous were a little better in the last episode, but I really liked the scene in this episode where they face off at the abandoned construction site, and Marvelous, he's got the gun to Yamato, and he's like, what if I don't want to give it over? And Yamato's like, you won't shoot, you fucking nerd. Do it.
He puts the gun to his forehead and holds it there and says, do it!
Make my
do it, you
day.
fucker!
Really dark scene for Sentai.
And Marvelous is like, Jesus Christ, man!
You guys are hard fucking core, you Jew-ogers. But no,
Wouldn't it be great if there was a Super Sentai team, right, that had a crossover with a previous team, and the new team was just, like, gritty and dark as fuck, and they all had, like, death wishes and shit.
They cross over with Sun Vulcan or Jacker.
There's actually a great fucking moment where they all transform into Red Rangers, or Red Sentaimen, whatever you want to call them.
They're Rangers.
And, fucking, Vol Eagle throws his stick.
Yeah.
He throws the Vulcan stick.
Vulcan stick. Can't forget it. Just chuck it.
My heart grew 3 sizes just seeing that. It was
like I said,
beautiful.
Pure fan service, start to finish. It was gorgeous. Gorgeous episode. You get to see all the Gokaiger's face actors. They got them for this one.
Mm-hmm.
Brilliant.
They all look exactly the same, except Guy. Gokai Silver looks like way older than everybody else for some reason.
Most of them aged like fine wine. Guy aged a little bit less. He aged like slightly cheaper wine.
Well, I guess his face is like made out of rubber anyway. You can't keep that shit tight for long.
He's expressive.
He is very expressive, and I love. There's a great moment as well where he's like, "Hey, Misao, sorry we had to fight. Let's go. Are you ready?" And he turns around and Misao's just in his like fetal position, whimpering to himself.
That's one of my favorite scenes. Is they're all fighting, and Misao comes. He's like, "All right, where's my Gokaiger to fight?" He's like, "There's no one here. There's no sixth one for me to fight."
I love this episode. I love the last one better. I will say that.
I like the last one a little more. This one is still fantastic. They actually they did a 2000th anniversary episode for 2,000 years, and they actually stuck it. They stuck the landing really well. It was a great couple episodes. It's
good to know that fucking Super Sentai has been around since the year 16.
Yeah, yeah. That's the Roman shit. Yeah. Fucking.
So 10 out of 10 episode.
Gorgeous, buttery.
It's beautiful.
Great.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, I loved it.
Beautiful. And now that we're done talking about Zyuohger, how about some mail? What do you think of that?
All right, pop open the mailbag.
What do you think of some mail?
Canada Post almost went on strike.
What?
Canada Post almost went on strike. It almost happened.
What does that have to do? Oh, mail.
This is mail.
I get it.
I couldn't have gotten any mail.
Get it? Get it, everybody?
Yeah, you get the joke. It's got mail.
Because he's a fucking idiot. Get it?
Because I'm a Canadian.
Man, nobody likes Canada.
Everybody likes Canada.
Name one person that likes Canada besides you.
We got ketchup chips. We got all dressed chips.
Oh yeah. I was doing some grocery shopping earlier and found all dressed chips from Ruffles Lay's, and it said on the bag #1 chip flavor in Canada, and I had to fucking contact my Canadian contact Liam,
my Canadian correspondent,
and ask him about them, and he wouldn't even fucking tell me what they tasted like. He's just like, buy them.
And did you like them?
He didn't steer me wrong.
They're good. They're really good. They're really fucking good.
Anyway, that has nothing to do with shit.
Anyway, yeah.
Our first message is from a guy whose name is just a bunch of Japanese shit, at Wild Saber on Twitter.
Okay.
He says, "How excited were you when the healing hug came back, Liam?"
No tears, 0 out of 10.
Yeah, what happened to the crying?
I mean, okay, no crystal tears. There was some weeping, but none of them fell down and shone. If he would have shoned, they shone as they fall to the ground. As they fell. I'm pretty sure that's how it's pronounced. But if one tear would have fallen down on Adele, he would have gotten to live. But no that's tear. True. Yeah, no crystal tears. No fucking tear, no live. I hated it. I loved everything about this episode. The next question is from @the Dr. Hope. Okay.
who says, pitch John Toei a decade-esque anniversary show with all the post-double writers. Basically, how would you make a less shit decade for the new era?
Jeff, do you want to start, or shall I?
I guess I could start.
Alright, go for it.
Number one, I would make sure that I could get actors back.
That's the number one.
Before I started making this series.
At least one writer from every show has to come back. Even if you can only get Ornek or something. Just that's enough.
Somebody has to come back.
Yeah.
And I would make it dimension... I wouldn't make it dimension hopping, since... Apparently, since Double, they all exist within pretty much the same dimension.
I like the idea that they're not canon to each other. They're canon to each other when they need to be. Just when you have to do a crossover, they can just drive to each other's towns.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's how intercompany crossovers in comics used to work. There was no, like, time travel, dimensional travel shenanigans. It was just, like, suddenly Batman's in New York City and he teams up with Spider-Man.
Yeah, it's like you don't have to deal with a bunch of convoluted out of nowhere shit. Oh, Akari built a dimensional portal to another dimension other than the Gamma. Like, it doesn't matter. Just we drive to Fudo. Let's just drive there.
And I would have, I would bring back Foundation X.
Okay, of course.
I would have Foundation X create their own writer, who is tasked with finding and destroying the writers from each series to collect their doodads. Mm-hmm. And he rebels. Like, he starts out villainous, right? Like, if you've ever read Spirits, the way Zetcross starts out villainous.
Okay.
And he slowly starts to learn that what he's doing is wrong.
Yeah. And
he has a huge character arc from being this, like, toady to Foundation X and thinking he's doing the right thing to becoming a heroic common rider and joining together with the other riders, but he struggles against them when he fights them to begin with, and he's not as strong as they are because they have causes to fight for, and he doesn't. So he's not just stomping all your favorite riders and showing how much better he is than them. He struggles against them and only wins through, like, Foundation X fuckery.
Yeah.
Or if maybe he doesn't win or something, and we get to see the heroic riders as the stars of each. You could even have it to where the heroic riders star in, like, episodic, like, 2 or 3 episode storylines where they're attacked by this villainous rider, and we have, like, cutaways to the villainous rider's view of things. And the hero might defeat them, might not defeat them. They might end in a stalemate, and then he moves on to the next target, and you get, like, another little story, at least until you get to the point where that gets boring.
Yeah.
And then you can bring the storyline around. Like, he can grow through each of those segments.
Yeah.
And then we can bring the storyline around to, like, the Kamen Rider Foundation X, whatever his name is, turning traitor against Foundation X and trying to join up with the other riders to take them down.
Okay, alright.
So there's a lot of rider fighting, which Liam loves.
Which I like, yeah.
There's a lot of character progression, which we both love. And it all leads up to riders working together, which I love.
Okay, alright. Sounds good.
What do you got?
I would do a road trip show about a hapless idiot who finds a belt, and he has to face Neo fuck whatever, shocker, big new threat
Neo
of the day.
fuck whatever
Neo
is
fuck
my
whatever.
favorite villain.
But he can't. But he knows he can't do it alone, so he's got to get all these riders. But they're all in different parts of Japan doing different shit with their lives. So one thing I take from Decade that I thought was brilliant was having a past rider be sort of your secondary, like having Kuga there for a lot of it.
As long as Kuga doesn't, the Kuga stand-in doesn't get shit on the whole series.
I would take like Kamen Rider Joker, someone who'd be easy to get back. I know Shatara would be easy. Get him to be like he's the dude who's there the whole time, and they drive from Fudo and they drive to the fucking Amanagawa High so they can get the spaceship and go to Gaim and whatever.
You could probably get Decade back for that. Actually,
Decade, but
Decade could be the sidekick to the new rider.
You could be the mentor.
Yeah,
something like that. Yeah. But it'd be at the same time it'd be like a travel show. Like a lot of it would be like they're on the road together and they gotta travel all over Japan to see all this stuff. And every time they bump into a rider and they're like, "Hey, can you help us?" And they're like, "Well, no, I got this shit I have to deal with." You know this.
Dude, you know what you could do?
What?
Using your idea, I don't mean to like jump in and like throw my 2 cents.
You just ruin it.
You could have his powers be based on, like, famous Japanese locations.
Oh.
And he gains the power every time he goes to the new place.
There. Yeah. I get you. It'd be like a real travel show.
Yeah, he'd be the tourism writer. You could even fucking sell the rights to the tourism board afterwards if you're going to be full.
Use him as a mascot, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Just a show where you get to a lot of different locations. Because Japan's like a very diverse country. You don't see it in Rider, obviously. It's all urban.
No,
but like
you all
Japan's
see
got
Tokyo.
a lot of different fucking environments in it that you can explore. I think that'd be cool to have like they go to like rural Japan and stuff like that and see all the different countrysides. That'd be a fun show.
That would cost so much money for Toei to do.
This is Dreamland, mind you. But yeah, this is my dream show.
In the dream world, like, maybe the tourism board is paying for it or something.
Some government assistance, I don't know.
Something, who knows?
Yeah.
So hopefully that answers your question. I would watch either of those shows. Personally.
Yeah, that'd be alright.
Our first question is from Casey, who says, what did you guys think of the new Sentai trademark, which we've already discussed a little bit?
God, why would you fucking ask that question?
Were you not listening? Also, any hopes for X-Aid?
My hope for X-Aid is that it's good.
I think we've discussed our hopes for X-Aid a lot.
I want the writers to be dicks and to hurt each other's feelings all the time.
Yeah. I want the series to be goofy and fun, but not like Den-O goofy.
Not so far.
Because I like Den-O.
Yeah.
But I don't want to repeat it.
Just a show that has some levity, but can still get serious when it needs to be.
Yeah, like Forza.
Like Forza, yeah.
Forza was very popular.
Yeah. Yeah, you get.
So that's my hope.
That sort of tone could be fine, yeah.
Yeah, a good balance between humor and seriousness.
Just something that I don't dread watching every week, I'll take.
Honestly, yeah. Even if it's, like, mediocre, if it's just decent, that's better than Ghost at this point.
You can't fuck up. You coming after
Don't
Ghost, you cannot.
Don't say that!
I know, I've said it so much, but, like, how... It's the easiest act to follow in the world.
If X8 is shit, you know who to blame.
Yeah, I
Because
guess.
Liam has jinxed it.
Two in a row, though?
Yeah,
that's unlikely.
We'll see.
It's unlikely.
Our next question
okay.
is from Daniel, who says, "Hey guys, the Ghost OST came out last week, so I was wondering if you have a favorite track from Ghost, or if all of them have been irreparably tainted by association with the show." There is a taint to it.
Definitely, they've all been tainted. There is one track that I kind of like, and that's the one that plays when at the very, very start of the episode, when he's talking about how he was killed by a Ganma on his 18th birthday and came back as Kamen Rider Ghost. You know, they play that same track.
I don't like that track.
I like that track. It reminds me of Dynasty Warriors 5 for some reason.
I like the track where it's like playing this really soft music, and then like there's like not like a record scratch, but it's like a transition between two tracks, and then it starts playing like a flute melody. It happens during like introspective scenes.
I can't say I know what song you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't know how to fucking describe it. But
I'm not going to download the fucking Ghost OST to learn all the names.
I had every episode of Ghost on my computer, and I realized that was making me like depressed in my real life, so I just deleted it all.
I delete them after I'm done with them.
Yeah, I do too now.
Get that shit off your hard drive, man.
Going through the list of all the episodes I have and seeing fucking Ghost on it, I was just like, no. I'm not giving up space for this.
Purge that garbo. I still have all of V3 sitting on my hard drive.
Do you? I still have all of Blade and most of Kabuto.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think I need to get rid of those. I'm not going to rewatch Blade anytime soon. I just finished it not long ago.
It's time for some spring cleaning.
But the problem with that is, how often do, like, subs of shows just fucking disappear?
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, what happens if you want to watch it again?
You're fucked.
I need to just find my external.
Yeah, an external is a good thing to have.
We moved, like, not long ago.
Yeah.
And, well, it was long ago, like a year. But I still have fucking unpacked boxes upstairs. And one of them somewhere has my, like, external in it.
You have to dig that shit out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a shame.
Next question is by the same person in the same email.
Oh, okay.
Also, if you had to have any Ghost actor play a major character in X-Aid, who would it be? Are we talking like a gun to my head situation or something?
let's say gun to your head.
Because otherwise, none.
Rider kick to your head. What are you gonna do?
Shibuya and Narita can be in X8 as the same exact characters.
Bring back either Shibuya, Narita, or Kanon. Characters that just did nothing, so that I can maybe see them do something. I could get down with that.
Yeah, that's it. I don't want any of the major characters to come back. Like, the Sage...
I'm sick of looking at all of them.
I don't even find the Sage funny anymore. Like, I did to begin with, because he was, like, really serious 1 second, and then he'd switch to a goofy voice, and it was kind of enjoyable.
Yeah.
But that shtick ended, like, a long time ago.
Yeah.
Finally, if you could have any actor play a major role in X8, who would it be? If they don't speak Japanese already, then they could be given a crash course by Steve Bills. Hope you guys have a good week. Daniel.
Matt Damon as X8. I don't know.
Liam, I feel like you're being facetious.
I'm being a little facetious. I don't know who I'd want. That's a tough question. It's an anniversary series, so I'd like a cameo from the man himself.
Hiroshi Fujioka.
Yeah.
Would be amazing.
It'd be good if he didn't... I'd like it if he didn't play Rider 1. If he was just a cameo as like a dude who ran a noodle stand in one episode or something.
Yeah, I'd like him to play a role in this ongoing series as like the owner of the arcade.
Yeah. Something like that.
I think that would be great. Like, he could be the gruff owner of an arcade who, like, beats up the people who refuse to, like, take turns.
Who don't share the game, yeah. That would
cool.
be
amazing. He could basically just play Sagata Sanshiro, and I'd be 100% happy with
it. What are you playing these arcade machines for? You must play Sega Saturn. Sega Saturn Shiro! And then he breaks all your bones and judo throws you, and that's my favorite commercial.
He judo throws you into the ground and you fucking explode on contact.
My favorite commercial, the best thing, is all these kids going to play baseball. They're like, yeah, we're gonna go be active and go outside and play baseball, and Sagata Sanshiro just beats the fuck out of them in the street. They're lying on the ground, like, clutching their wounds, being like, Sagata Sanshiro, why? And he's like, you gotta play Sega Saturn.
My favorite one of those is when there's a bunch of people, like, dancing and having fun at the club, and then, like, they turn around and Sagata Sanshiro standing there, and they're all like, oh! And, like, try and get away from him. Like, they already know.
Shit, we don't have any Sega Saturn set up.
Although my 100% favorite is when he's Santa.
Oh, yeah.
And the little girl's like, Santa-san! He pulls the mask off.
What about
and the little girl's crying, Sagata Sanshiro!
What about the one for Sakura Wars, where he's with the girl?
Oh, that was fucking amazing. Sakura-san! That's actually in that fucking crossover.
Yeah, it's Project Cross Zone, yeah.
Yeah, Project Cross Zone. When they meet each other, they do the entire commercial together in text.
That is legendary. That's fucking perfect.
It is. So we want him to play Sagata Sanshiro. That's who we want to be in X8.
Absolutely.
I would like Sir Liam Neeson to be in it. He could play Dark Man.
You'd be so confused.
He'll be in anything. He was in fucking Battleship.
I'd like James Franco as himself to appear.
Did you know? And I only found this out because I dated a girl who watched fucking soap operas all the time.
Oh no.
Maybe General Hospital or One Life to Live or All My Children or something. He played a character named Franco, who was an actor.
Really?
And a drug addict.
For a long time? Or was it like a one-off?
He apparently appeared constantly. Whenever he had the chance, he would come back and play this character.
Holy shit.
For ages. And nobody knows, because nobody watches soap operas.
That's weird as fuck.
Go to his, like, Wikipedia or something.
His IMDb,
because I don't know which one it was, but holy shit. I was sitting there watching with her, and I was like, is that James Franco? And somebody was like, hey, Franco. And I was like, is he playing himself?
As himself. Of course.
What the fuck?
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Our next question is from Sam. who says, "Hey Jeff and Liam, what tropes in Rider are starting to lose their charm on you guys? Personally, I'm sick of the main Rider slowly transforming into the series monster."
Oh, yeah.
P.S. I was Fuckface McGee last week. It turns out I'd been using this email for job applications instead.
Gotta get that Fuckface McGee on your resume.
Is he the Fuckface McGee? Yeah, he's just a Fuckface McGee.
Mr. McGee, we'd like to give you an interview.
Please, call me Fuckface.
Mr. McGee is my father.
His name was also Fuckface. I agree. Like, reusing the same tropes is starting to get a little old. Like, I know it just happened in Drive and now it's happening in Ghost, but if there's another fucking series where the third rider's a handsome guy who used to be a villain, I'm gonna be really pissed off.
I know this is another Drive and Ghost thing, but I don't want the mystery team. I don't want there to be a mystery team.
There's always a mystery team. There was a mystery team in Blade.
Yeah, but, like, not always. Gaim didn't have a mystery team.
Well, Gaim sort of did with the dumb chick and their stupid dance friends.
Yeah, but they weren't like they didn't have like an office where you come in and submit mysteries to them so they can have a weekly episode. Like, I don't want that shit anymore, which probably not gonna, they're doctors, so probably no mystery team.
They'll probably come in with like ailments and they'll have to fight monsters to defeat them.
Yeah, that's fine. Like, I'm fine with a formula that allows for episodic formats. I'm just tired of that formula being the fucking mystery team.
Yeah, you want no pit. You don't want people to come to them with fucking jobs.
There's gonna be a pit, I'm sure, but
yeah,
they gotta use that big room for something.
I agree. The hero transforming into the monster because he's using his belt is getting a little old.
It's cool once. Not anymore. It's
been in like 7 or 8 different series at this point. Maybe 10 even. I don't even know.
There's a lot. It's a cheap way to, you got a price to pay.
And I understand why. Because in the Showa era, the writers were always of the villains. They used the same powers as the villains in order to defeat them. You can show that in a different way than just having them transform into the monster.
Yeah, you can have a different caveat to the belt than that.
You can show that the belt came from the villains and not just have it be a reveal like 3/4 of the way through the series and have them turn into a monster.
Yeah. It's running.
It's unnecessary.
Yeah.
So I agree with that. The dumbass comedic relief sidekick, like Unari, or what's his fucking face from Wizard?
The fuckhead that everyone wanted to be a writer but didn't.
Yeah, I don't want these characters anymore.
I mean, a comedy relief is good, but they gotta be funny and they gotta fit. And Onari was neither.
You want a comedy relief like a Chris Tucker in Rush Hour.
Perfect.
You don't want a comedy relief like Orko from He-Man.
You don't want a comedy relief like Chris Tucker in Kamen Rider Ghost, which is what Onari was.
You want a comic relief unlike Chris Tucker in The Fifth Element. Even though I love him in that movie.
It just seems like a Rider a lot of times falls into sort of stock characters, the same stock characters.
Yeah,
I would just really like to do away with that.
And I mean, it might be like an easier formula to plug shit into, and they're trying to sort of ape on Sentai for that, because Sentai has a set of about 20 stock characters that they just pick and choose from for each team.
Yeah, different combinations.
I'm gonna pick 5 of these characters for this, and then I'll pick this 5 for this. But that works for Sentai because there are so many characters that are getting focused.
It's brilliant utilitarian writing.
If you're doing a Kamen Rider series, you only have like 3-4 riders usually. You can have more, but they don't get as much focus because Rider isn't made for a team dynamic in the same way.
Yeah. It's about a single rider.
Put more thought and care into your characters. Like, I know that there has to be like a 2-dimensional base to each character that you build from,
which is fine.
Build in a different way.
Yeah, they throw them into situations that'll turn them in an interesting manner. That's all I want.
When I think about a character in Kamen Rider having like an interesting story arc now, I tend to think about Michi.
Michi is one of my favorite character arcs in all of Rider. He's one of my favorite characters.
Like, you hate his fucking guts after a while, but that's because he changes so dramatically throughout the series.
You can see it right from the start. When he first transforms, he explains his villain motivation. You just don't know that that's his villain motivation yet.
Yeah.
It's very clever.
There was always something unsettling about him that I didn't really pick up on. I thought he was just going to be the lame-ass sidekick character, but boy was I wrong. And I was pleasantly surprised by it, too. On the other end of the spectrum, you have a character like Kaido, who has the dumbest character arc in Kamen Rider history.
Kaido's arc was... I thought it was fine until the end, when it starts to get a little...
Stuff happens.
Some shit goes down. That's all I'll say.
It's, I want more interesting character development. That's, I don't like the cookie cutter way Kamen Rider is developing now, where everything seems to be the same from series to series.
Post-decade is very formulaic.
I mean, there's stuff in each series that isn't formulaic, but there's like a grid
that
they're sticking stuff in. And Gaim breaks that pretty heavily.
And Gaim was...
But the others don't really.
Gaim was crazy good.
I love some of those series dearly, but just because I love one thing doesn't mean I'm going to love an exact fucking copy of it over and over and over again. Liam, are you alive? Liam? Liam?
You're a robot, dude.
Oh.
Oh, you're back. You're back.
Okay, you're back. Like, I couldn't fucking hear you at all.
I wasn't saying anything. I was waiting.
Oh.
Okay, there's a reason, I always say there's a reason why the best and worst Rider series come from pre-decade Heisei, like from Kuga to Kiva. Because every fucking season was different and had a weird new thing, and had like a different structure and a different tone, and was a different kind of story. Different sets of characters. Everything was totally different. And
it reminded me of like
that.
Like an anthology series, really.
Yeah, they tried
because
new
every
things.
story had nothing to do with the last one. It was a completely different take.
And they seemed
you don't really get that anymore.
They were very different shows. Yeah, they followed different formulas and different plot structures and stuff. But yeah, you don't really get that much anymore. It's just mystery teams now.
It's too much is similar. It's everything is too similar. That's what I most want to change. That's what I'm most getting sick of.
Yeah.
So hopefully that answered your question, Sam.
Hopefully.
Our next email is from Zolgheim, who says, which character from Ghost, and he has character in quotation marks.
Of course.
Which character from Ghost would you rather be your roommate for the rest of your life? You have to pick at least one. Just 2 more episodes. Don't Sudoku yet. You can do it.
I'm going to say Akari, because she's terribly attractive.
She's a cutie pie.
She's got that going. Nobody else in Ghosts has that going for them. I'll take Akari.
I can't pick Akari now, can I?
No, you can't steal it. You gotta take Onari.
Fuck no. I don't know. Shibuya seems like a pretty normal guy. I'll bunk with him, I guess.
He'd clean up after himself. He'd be quiet. Yeah, he'd be a good roomie.
He's apparently, like, super ridiculously beta, so I could just yell at him a lot and he'll do whatever.
You could make him do your chores, probably.
Like, he eats at a tiny table in a closet. He can't have that much of a backbone about him.
Like, his closet's pitch black. It's lit by candlelight. He has to stuff himself in there with Narita, and it's really they're breathing on each other's food.
Ugh. If you didn't have a gun to my head, I would say none. But thanks for writing in.
Thanks anyways, fucker.
We got an email from Timeline, who asked about Uchu Sentai Q Ranger, which we already talked about, and asked about our opinions on Blade, which we've talked about before as well.
Yeah, Jeff likes Blade.
And yeah, I'll summarize it. Liam hasn't seen Blade, and I really like Blade. Even though the first 13 episodes are god-awful, it becomes really good afterwards.
First 13 episodes of Blade are meme-tastic.
Oh my god, that's fucking Everybody wants us to play Blade memes all the goddamn time.
I love them. It's Jeff that's trying to keep me back.
I hate him. Liam doesn't actually love him. He's just being a dick.
I ironically love him.
Our next message is from Bopnan, who says, "Hey again, guys. I hope you had a nice day.
It was alright.
It was fine.
It was fine.
You've discussed about rider gimmicks in previous episodes of the podcast, so my question is, which gimmick or theme would you like for a Super Sentai team? P.S. Thanks for the Super Mario Brothers movie stream." You're welcome, man.
Oh yeah,
everybody had a really good time.
I wasn't there for that.
That's a shame. I did just say I was going to do it like 2 hours previous, so if anybody missed it, it's no big deal.
Yeah.
But you should be following the Twitter if you want random streams of bullshit that I find complete on YouTube that I think will be funny to watch.
At Rider Club Radio.
And everybody had a really good time. There was about 12 of us.
Sick.
And about 10 of them had never seen the movie before.
Really?
And at the end of it, they were like, "Man, I don't know how to feel about that movie." It wasn't bad enough to watch it like terribly or ironically, and it wasn't good enough to think it was a really good movie, but I still enjoyed it.
That's disgusting. What a complex
And that's
thought.
the Super Mario Brothers movie for you.
Yeah.
I feel the exact same way.
It's a cultural oddity.
It really is. We pretty much just sat around talking about like all the fucking stories from behind the scenes that those who'd watched it knew.
I know, Bob Hoskins fucking destroyed his hand, and...
Yeah, he was wearing a cast under his fucking jacket hand for most of the thing. And also, Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo, who played Mario and Luigi, were drunk the entire movie shoot.
Explains a lot.
Because the directors were like these complete morons who were trying to run them all like they were Stanley Kubrick. But they were idiots.
Yeah.
So they just drank to pass the time.
Sounds good to me. Sounds like a good time.
Of course it sounds good to you. You're an alcoholic.
Yeah, it's true. Don't tell them that, though. That's really embarrassing.
All right. We'll edit that out.
Yeah, I'll make sure to cut that,
So what gimmick would you like for a Super Sentai team, Liam?
That was the question?
That was the actual question.
Fuck. I'd like cell phone changers and they turn into cars.
What?
I mean, fuck. I don't know. Shit, you sprung this on me.
They turn into cars?
The Sentai team turns into cars, not their phones.
They're Transformers.
No, I mean, they turn into car rangers.
Oh, that's already been done.
By what?
Car Ranger.
What the fuck?
You like some sort of an idiot?
Oh man, a Sentai gimmick. It'd be cool if they snatched something from Rider and did like bugs. I don't think they've ever done bugs before.
I would fucking love that.
Or,
although there was Kabuto Riger and Kuwagata Riger from Hurricaneger.
Oh yeah. There was also the ones from fucking Go On. Or not Go On, I always say Go On. Go Busters.
Go Busters,
Go Busters. Or what about airplanes? Different models of airplane. That'd be fun.
That'd be pretty
like
cool.
A bomber or like a stealth fighter.
Yeah, the Black Ranger could be like the stealth bomber.
Yeah, the Red Ranger would be like the basic dogfighter.
Yeah, it'd be like the F-14.
Yeah, that'd be cool. What about you, Jeff? What do you think?
I think dinosaurs would be novel.
Oh, absolutely.
They should try that out.
Give that a fourth swing.
They should do video games. Nobody's done that one.
No. They really
I don't know. Everything's been done.
Oh, look around the room. What's the first thing you see?
Sports. They should do one that's sports.
That's pretty good, actually.
Like the Red Ranger could be like a baseballman.
Encourage kids to be active.
Yeah. And then the Sixth Ranger could be like an obese man.
The Sixth Ranger would be American football, and he'd be like a big, obnoxious American guy.
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
Yeah.
So yeah, sports.
Sports.
Although I like the bug one a lot too.
Yeah, bugs would be fun.
Cowboys is my dream.
Oh yeah, Cowboys would be sick.
I forget the name. Like a friend of mine translated Pioneer.
Oh yeah.
Into Japanese for me, but I had this like dream idea for a Super Sentai that was called like Pioneer Ranger
Revolger.
Yeah, Revolger, because they were they used revolvers like cowboys, and they had like cowboy hats built into their helmet.
Yeah.
And the funny part about this is that I came up with this idea 1 year before Star Ninja appeared.
Yeah. Star Ninja
with a cowboy fucking theme.
Yeah, except he had a burger.
Yeah, because Americans love our cheeseburgers.
Hey, I don't know about you, man, but I love cheeseburgers.
I also love cheeseburgers.
Yeah, that's how Americans are. You know, you live in Texas.
That's a pretty good picture of America, really.
Yeah.
I don't live in Texas. You say that so often that people fucking believe you.
Yeah.
So hopefully that answers all your questions. Oh, we got one more.
Oh.
This might be a question more for you.
Okay.
But hey, Jeff and Liam, I know you guys have said before that one of you made a tabletop Kamen Rider game. We've actually both been the DM.
Yeah, we both DM'd a separate one, yeah.
Then we both played in both of them.
Yeah.
But I wanted to ask if any of you played the mobile Toku games. I've been becoming fairly addicted to Super Sentai Legends War and Kamen Rider Battle Rush. The graphics aren't great, but it's super addicting.
I'm scared of mobile games.
The funny part is, a serious detouring question is, do you think mobile games will ever surpass consoles or handhelds? Is the direct thing after that.
I'm scared of mobile games because every time I find one I like, they're like, here you go, kid, here's one that's fun. And then I play a little bit, and then they're like, oh, you played for 10 minutes? That's it for the day, kid. $10
you better
please.
go outside and play unless you want to give us $4.99 to continue having minutes.
How about I give you my fucking piece of my ass?
They'd probably take it.
I don't know. I've never played a Kamen Rider Battle Rush or Super Sentai Legend. Maybe I'll give them a shot. I need something to do.
I haven't played them either.
On the bus.
Can you get that shit on like the App Store in America?
You can get apps outside of your region by just downloading the APK file. There's a way to do it. I don't want to outline it here, but there is a way to do it.
Okay, you can go to Google and type that shit in and find out.
How to get it.
I don't really play mobile games because I was stupid and got the smaller memory phone.
Oh no.
So I can barely hold fucking music on this piece of shit.
Oh no.
It's like, it builds up. I've had it for several years now.
Mm.
And it's like an iPhone.
Yeah.
And it fucking builds up data that I cannot purge for some reason. I literally have to obliterate all of my apps and re-download them.
That's weird.
Because I didn't update to the new iOS.
Mm. Oh, you're using an iPhone?
So, yeah. For now. I'm coming up in November for a new phone, getting rid of that shit.
You want them Samsung Galaxies?
I'm thinking about it, but it's like I have to get rid of all my shit because I didn't have enough space to download the new iOS.
Mm.
Which is pathetic.
That's hilarious.
And the funny thing is, if you get like the huge memory phone, they put this certain amount of shit on it that you cannot delete.
Yeah.
And it's like a ton of data, but you have a huge amount of like memory space, so it's fine. And if you get the small memory phone that barely has any memory, they put the exact same amount of shit on it. So you end up with like a quarter of your phone's memory to work with.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Apple. Suck my dick.
So that's Jeff's diatribe about phone gaming.
Yeah, I can't. I had to delete everything on my phone for the most part, besides my music, to be able to download Miitomo.
Oh no!
And boy, was that worth it! People are sure playing that still.
Totes.
So I got rid of that after a week.
Yeah.
And I can't even download Pokemon Go. I don't have space for it.
And as to do I think mobile games will overtake console handheld gaming? I think they'll just occupy an ever growing separate market.
I agree.
Maybe they've definitely butted into handhelds, but I don't think they're going to overtake consoles anytime soon.
What do you think about consoles, Liam? Do you think we're moving towards consoles being fully replaced?
By PC? I think we're moving towards obsolescence of consoles, I think.
I have to agree with that, because consoles continually become more and more like really shitty PCs.
That's how they sell them these days, and people are always hungry for, more graphics and shit. And if you're on a PC and you're like, oh, I want to play in 4K or whatever. You just get a new video card. You don't have to wait for Microsoft to grant you this new thing.
The problem with like consoles now is, like I was saying, they're like really shitty little PCs. Back in the day, it wasn't really like that. They were just like, it was like a really cool toy, I guess.
That's how they were sold, yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't... It was about like whether the games were fun on the system or not. Like if you wanted to play Mario and shit, you got the Nintendo. If you wanted to play Sonic, Streets of Rage, or whatever, you got your Genesis.
Yeah, no one gives a fuck about
as
games
they
anymore.
developed,
it's
yeah. Like whenever somebody starts talking about a video game, I'm like, well, is it fun? And they're like, well, I don't know.
Does the PlayStation 4 have fun games? No, but it's got like 1 trillion teraflops.
Yeah.
Okay, like what exclusives does it have? Fuck.
Like people are talking about Uncharted 4, and they're like, look at these fucking next generation graphics. Graphics have never looked this amazing before. And I'm like, well, is the game fun? And they're like, well, I don't know.
It's okay, I guess.
It's like every other Uncharted game.
How many flops does it have, though?
So not fun? The Uncharted games are alright.
People are very hungry for tech in games these days. I don't know what happened.
I just don't care, man.
Yeah.
And the funny thing about it is I don't really have a great computer. So even when I play the like PC games that are supposed to be like, this is on PC because only a PC can handle these graphics, I still have shit like turned all the way down.
Yeah, you gotta.
I'm just playing it for fun. I don't care.
Yeah. It's not really important.
I think it is coming. Consoles becoming obsolete. And I think there's Nintendo's probably the one that's going to suffer most because of that, because they're still trying to figure out how to use like broadband.
Nintendo hasn't figured out the internet yet. They're like, what?
They figured out how to sell Mario to fucking iOS though.
Yeah,
they figured
there
that
they
shit
go.
out.
Yeah.
So I think that's the first big step right there. When I heard about that, I was like, well, consoles are out in the next like 10 years.
Yeah.
Because why would you buy a system so you can play Mario if you can just fucking play Mario on your phone?
They're already kind of doing it. They're sort of moving beyond generations now. We got this new PlayStation 4 and this new Xbox that it's still an Xbox One, but it can do 4K, but it can
the Scorpio or whatever.
Yeah, PlayStation 4
Why?
Pro. Because people want 4K really bad for some reason. Dude, who has a 4K TV? What oil barons do you know who own 4K TVs?
That's the thing, though, is like people are like, man, this fucking game is like, it won't run 4K 960 FPS. I don't want to play this shit. And I'm so fucking old. I'm like, is this game fun? Will I enjoy it?
Is it paced well?
What are the game mechanics like?
Can I jump far in it?
Tell me about the game mechanics.
Yeah.
People were like, I don't fucking know. It looks great, though.
Look at all these polys.
Look at this fucking story. The story in this game is 10 out of 10. Well, what are you doing? You fucking walk from room to room, bro?
I'm going to confess that I've played games just for their story before.
That's
Deadly
fine.
Premonition, I blew through mostly for its story.
That's fine.
100% worth it.
I just don't think that should be the main fucking focus of video games.
Yeah. It's true.
Like, you can have a story game, like fucking that's what a point and click game is, you know?
Yeah,
that's
Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis, yeah.
Like Star Trek the 25th Anniversary game, I just bought that
Disgusting.
the other day. It has the entire fucking cast for Star Trek the original series doing voices in it.
Wow.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
We went way off topic.
Yeah, I gotta get that Kamen Rider game on the phone, see if it's any fun.
Yeah, we'll have to see about that. Like, if Liam says it's fun, I might get it when I get a new phone.
Yeah, we'll see.
He finishes out by saying, thanks, and I'm also glad that Ghost is almost over because I've been listening to Writer Club Radio since episode 1.
Damn,
Keep up the good work,
survivor.
And you should do another spoiler cast.
We will. We're gonna do Ryuki next time there's an open week.
Isn't there an open week between the end of Ghost and the beginning of X-Aid?
I don't think so, no.
That would have been a perfect spot for it.
That would have been good, but no.
Well, looks like we're not doing that shit.
I would have done a Ghost spoiler cast for that anyways.
Oh, God, no.
Just audio of us vomiting into a bucket for an hour and a half.
Just play that sad song that plays in fucking at the end of The Incredible Hulk when he's walking along the road towards the end. Just play that for an hour and 10 minutes. So that's it for Rider Club Radio this week. Thanks for writing in, everybody. All of those emails came in today.
Wow.
Every single one of them, because I put on Twitter that we didn't have any.
So
they
watch
all
us,
came in today.
Make sure you watch us on Twitter at Rider Club Radio so you know when to send your emails to riderclubradio@gmail.com.
God, that was smooth as butter.
Ooh, whoosh.
That was nice.
Fucking hire me at your ad agency.
If you follow us on Twitter, you'll see that we've been streaming video games a lot recently.
Yeah.
If you like to hear us talk about video games, that's a pretty decent place for it.
Yeah.
And we also talk about Kamen Rider. We talk to the people in the chat and shit like that. We've been playing a lot of Monster Hunter Freedom Unite.
We flail around like morons.
Neither of us had ever played a Monster Hunter game before we started streaming it, so we're still complete fucking idiots at it, which is apparently really entertaining. People tell us.
There was a dude in there who knew his shit about Monster Hunter, and he said he loved it, so...
Yeah, he didn't even know what Rider Club Radio was. he just started watching because he liked Monster Hunter.
Yeah, he wandered in from Twitch.
And also, I've been streaming SyncTube streams of just shit that I find on YouTube that I find hilarious. And I feel like sometime soon I'm going to stream Beastmaster 2 Portal Through Time.
Do it.
So you can all suffer through it with me, since I've never finished it.
Sounds like a time and a half.
So follow us on Twitter, send us some emails, and we'll see you next week.
See you.